All right, I'm hitting the button. We're gonna start going live here. Start hitting the feeds, and we're gonna start letting some folks join the broadcast. So you're in the state of Washington, right? So you're a West
I am.
Coaster like me, which is pretty cool.
There you go.
So
you guys are shut down as well out in Washington, I imagine.
We are.
Okay.
Let me see here.
yeah.
Cool. Sorry, getting the double feed going on once we hit live.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to hold on. I'm going to pop out the chat so I can still see it, but I don't need to see myself.
Yeah.
I don't want to see myself anyway. There we go.
You don't want to see yourself? Come on now.
I already know what I look like.
I was watching some of your videos, John, and I really liked the video you and your daughter did with the assembly of the Legends Ultimate. That was pretty cool.
Oh yeah. It was more an excuse to just build it because that thing was just sitting in my living room for about a week. And I was like, I got to get to it later. Got to get to it now. Can't do it now, for whatever reason. And I was like, you know what? If we do a video on it, then it gives me the excuse to kind of put it together anyway. And I knew it wasn't going to be a hard project, so happy to include her too. She likes the whole YouTube thing, so.
Yeah, it was adorable watching the video you two assembling your Legends Ultimate. That was really cool. I don't have a daughter, so we just have the one kid. All right, the usual suspects are showing up. What's up, Scotty Hollywood? What's up, Eric? I love seeing these names every single week. What's up, Sean Powers? There's our boy Angel. Hey guys, what's up, Angel? We are just getting ready to start the show proper, folks, so just bear with us. We're letting some folks join the feed, as well as we're making sure everything's set up and looking good. Hey, John, watch the ticker. It's rigged.
The ticker. Ooh,
this whole episode
is rigged.
This whole episode is going to be rigged, guys.
Okay, I'll take it.
Super, super exciting. Okay, I think
hilarious.
Carl, you ready? Are you ready, John?
Whenever you're ready.
YouTube, it's your boy Detroit Love, PDubs, and John Riggs with a live video.
Let's do it. Good morning, everybody. Today is Sunday, April 19th, and you are tuning into the Loft Report, your arcade and gaming podcast show. I'm your host, PDubs, and I'm joined again, as always, by my co-host, Carl Detroit Love. How you doing, Carl?
Man, I'm doing fantastic. How's everyone out there?
And also, we have John Riggs in the house. What's up, Johnny?
Thank you. Man, I'm doing good. How are you feeling?
I'm doing fantastic. And just as a reminder, folks, make sure you subscribe to Detroit Love on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to PDubs. Make sure you subscribe to John Riggs. Links to everyone's video channels are in the video description below. As well as, guys, if you want to listen to the audio of the podcast, we are on every single podcast listing platform you can think of. The Loft Report Arcade and Gaming Podcast Show. Google, Spotify, iHeartRadio, you name it, you'll find it. Just search the Loft Report. So we're very, very excited to have John in the house. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. And not only that, John is going to do something special if you guys hang through for the entire show. We are going to be doing open cart surgery live right here for all of you. What cartridge are we going to fix today, John? Or at least try?
I was going to say, you have much higher expectations than I do on this thing. We have a classic in Battletoads.
Oh, nice. Nice.
So
nice.
It wasn't working earlier. We'll see if we can get it working.
Hola,
give it a shot.
Jerry Nacho Libre is saying hello. We love seeing all these guys. The same guys tuning in every week. You guys help us get excited, stay energized. We just love doing this podcast show. We took the week off for Easter. We knew you guys had better things to do than watch us blah, blah, blah about arcades. So now that, and also too, the wife had me on lockdown. But she's not here right now. So we're good. So anyway, guys, I figure we kind of tell a quick story first. John and I actually never spoke before ever up until about a week and a half ago. And John, if you want to tell the story about how you and I met each other, and I guess we're friends now, bud. We're buddies now. Yeah,
we're almost brothers. I mean, we both kind of have that Paul Giamatti thing going on, a little bit.
Yes, I get that.
Take my glasses off. I mean,
Oh my God.
No, I was literally mistaken for him twice in my life. Once at one time in particular at a Jack in the Box drive-through. It was right after some movie came out, and we had the same hair, we had the same facial features, we had the same facial hair and everything. And I was wearing sunglasses in a Jack in the Box drive-through, and the guy was looking through the drive-through, and he's like looking at me. He was like, I was like, no. Before you say anything, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm much taller than he is.
Yeah, when I shave my goatee, my face looks a lot fatter. The goatee helps narrow it down a bit. But when I shave my goatee, people tell me I look like Paul Giamatti. So, it's kind of funny. So, but yes, tell the story about how you and I first became.
I have that Norwegian. I think the first time was just I grabbed an At Games Legends Ultimate arcade machine, something fun for the house. The Arcade1UPs are fine, but I was like, well, this one's like I'm 6'5", and I mean, I would have to put an Arcade1UP on a countertop for me to play it properly without hunched over or anything like that. So full size machine, had to grab it, love it. But then that's when I started seeing these videos on like how to maybe add your own games to it, including Sega CD. And I was a huge fan of Sega CD. I'm a huge Sega fan in the first place. So I watched a couple of videos. Yours was the first video I watched. And then I watched the Wild Coder video. And I was like, well, that one's more of a stream about what's going on. But it's like your videos are just like quick, concise, to the point. Here's what it is step by step. Perfect. I can do that. And it didn't work. Watched the video again, did it step by step, didn't work. I was like, what am I doing wrong? I don't get it. So then I just popped into, not knowing that you were also in all these other Facebook groups that I was in, like all these, help and support and tutorial things. So that's when you reached out to me, and I didn't know who you were at the time. He's like, hey, I got it to work, and I'll walk you through it step by step. So chat with me. Here's the stream to a video, Google Hangout type thing. Perfect. I'll do that too. So then when you popped on, I was like, I know your face. I just watched your video about 9 times in a row.
Did you go, it's Paul Giamatti? Did you think it was Paul Giamatti?
I was like, I love you in that movie. Just from there, then you walked me through it step by step, and we got it to work, and I found out what I was doing wrong. So I was, even though I was doing it step by step, I was like, you don't need to do that. I'll just do the shortcut here and it'll work. It didn't work. So, but we got it to work, and I found out why and everything. So then just from there, that's when all these other, support and tutorial group things, it's like we happen to be in the same groups all the time anyway. I was like, okay, now I can match, the username to, the face and the voice and the channel and all that. So worked out all right.
Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, I think At Games needs to start writing me a paycheck for all of the PDubs ticket calls I've responded to this week. I've literally been I've literally been contacting people, like doing like Google Hangouts and stuff, helping people with their Legends Ultimates and things like that. So PK, if you're watching the show, man, let's see some dineros. No, I'm just kidding. But
that's the problem with having a channel like. I was gonna say that's the problem with having a channel like yours, or even like mine, or a lot of others too, where if you just had a channel that was like, here are some great arcade games, then people would contact you all the time saying, oh, remember this game? I love this game. But when you have a channel that's all about, with tutorials and processes and step-by-steps, and here's how to do this tech thing, then you become free tech support, basically, for the people saying, like, hey, what about this? And I get that a lot of times on my channel, too. Right. The most weirdest questions is like, how is that even, like one of my things on my channel is, I cover like how to make your own like reproduction cartridges and stuff like that. And I'll get people saying like, hey, can I send you this MS-DOS file, and can you put it onto a Super Nintendo cart? I'm like, no. They're like, oh, there's this one I got all the time was there's a great arcade game called the Cowboys of Moo Mesa, based on an old cartoon. I say old cartoon, it was a 90s cartoon. But it came out in the arcade from Konami. And I'd get people saying like, well, hey, since they have Sunset Riders in the arcade and they have Sunset Riders on the Super Nintendo, do the same, but with Cowboys of Moo Mesa. I was like, well, you can't. You have to build it from the ground up. He's like, no, just put the ROM onto a cart. And it's like, no, it doesn't work. It doesn't work that way, I promise. I wish it did.
Now, you're going to make fun of me, but I just discovered that Cowboys of Moo Mesa game. I've never played it before. And
oh, yeah.
I got it running on the Legends Ultimate through like a, bring your own ROM, UCE, and I played it, and oh my God, that game is awesome. Like, it's ridiculously
It's a great game.
It's stupid awesome.
It's a lot like Sunset Riders, and it's from Konami. But yeah, it's a great game, and it came out around the same time and everything like that. And there was a cartoon during that time. That's right around the time I stopped watching Saturday morning cartoons in favor of playing video games or whatever I was doing in the 90s. That 90s, it would have been. I was in high school during that time, so I was probably just sleeping in, really. But yeah, it's a great game. There's so many great arcade games out there. Fortunately, we had that arcade machine in my town at a local roller skating rink of all places. I didn't go roller skating, but it was one of the few places that actually had the stand-up Star Wars game. So I'd go there just for that.
That's awesome. Have you played Moo Mesa, Carl? Have you played that one?
I have not. This is the first time even hearing of it.
It's like it's like a running gunner beat 'em up, but it's a world full of cows. So yeah, you'll like it. You'll like it.
It plays a lot like Sunset Riders if you play that.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Cowboys and Moo Mesa. Check it out. That's my.
And there's a MAME emulation of it.
Yes.
Okay.
There is.
Yep.
I'll take a look.
Yeah, it's probably on your Wolfenoz images. It's probably on there somewhere. So
okay.
If not, I'll hook you up. So hey guys, we got some celebrities joining us in the chat. Stephen Haywood is in the house. What's up, my brother? Make sure you guys subscribe to the Tech Buzz and check out the Retro Buzz show on Friday nights. John, you're going to actually be on the Retro Buzz soon, right?
I am. Beginning of May. They're making a special exception, not for me per se, but because I think it's like somebody's birthday or like their son's birthday, so they're going to postpone it. They're going to postpone it for the entire weekend. But that's when they always do it. They always do it on Friday. I'm always at work on Friday. I'm still essential. I still go to work. So I was like, I'd love to make it, but I can't because I'm always working on Friday. And they're like, well, as a matter of fact, we're actually going to postpone Friday. We can do it Saturday. I was like, well, if you do it Saturday, I'll be able to help out. So should be interesting. That's a stream. That's a podcast I've been following for a little while. So happy to be a part of it.
Yeah.
When that comes about, it's like early May. So here in a couple weeks.
Oh, it'll be in a couple of weeks. Okay. Yeah, we'll have to keep our eyes out for that, guys. And also, guys, don't forget, we have Rex from the Rexer Show. Make sure you guys subscribe to the Rexer Show on YouTube. He does the best, most exciting. He does an awesome trivia show weekly on his channel. You guys got to check it out. It's so much fun. So make sure you guys check that out. Okay, guys, let's kind of keep moving forward. So you got your At Games Legends Ultimate. You and your daughter made an adorable assembly video, John.
Thank you.
Then PDubs tech support was there and helped you get your Sega CD games up and running. But minus those two things, what are your impressions? What do you think of the At Games Legends Ultimate, and what do you think of it versus Arcade1UP machines?
You know, I'm a fan. I like it a lot. And this is going back to because I don't work for At Games. But I also know their history on some of the projects that they've released that haven't been really up to par with a lot of other things that are out there. So I went into it knowing that, and I actually like At Games a lot for a lot of things. You know, a lot of people kind of put down their the Genesis, the flashback Genesis system, which I think is pretty neat. Their latest model that came pre-equipped with even like Master System and Game Gear games. I thought it worked really well. So I had no problems with that. But going into that, I was just like, yeah, but I think this is like a different team. It's like, it has the At Games logo on it, but it's its own thing. It's not, it shouldn't be compared with the other things that have happened in the past and all that. So I wanted one of those. Like I said, I like the Arcade1UPs. I like what Arcade1UPs is doing, but they're too small for me. Even on the riser, it's still too small for me. They're cute. They're fun. Be cool to have. Yes, you can sit down at them, sure. But I wanted something a little bit more upright. To go from there. And the fact that it had a trackball and the little spin dial too. I was just like, well, I have a Pandora's box. I have one of those arcade, dual stick arcade things, but it doesn't have the spin ball. It doesn't have the, or it doesn't have the trackball. It doesn't have the spinners. But this one did. So I was just like, well, this, it's perfect. It's an all-in-one. And then once I kind of heard, I didn't look up any videos yet, but once I heard that you could easily add your own ROMs. Now of course I have retro Pi systems and setups too. But even to me, it's just like, I'm not super tech-y like a lot of people think I am. So it's like, I don't want to to add more games onto it, you have to do this other stuff. And it's like, that's a lot of process, man. I just wanted to get it working, and it worked right out of the box. I mean, it fired on the very first time I plugged it in and, hooked everything up and clicked the power on button. So I was super impressed with that for sure. And it's the fact that, again, going back to some of these classic arcade games, I have children, I have smaller children, I have a child with special needs who doesn't really play a whole lot of video games. But you can find like some great, bowling games or even like the Golden Tee type games that you can use the trackball. He can do that. I mean, that's fine. So so it's a great way, and I mean, now a better time than any, since they're not in school right now. Have something to do now between chores.
Yeah, how's that been? Are they wanting to do their homeschooling, or are they wanting to play their video games with dad? What are they most excited about?
You know, they understand that there's a mix of everything. So, I mean, yes, I allow them video game time for sure. Of course I do. But they have to get their school type stuff done too. And we live in a place that wasn't really equipped for this pandemic to happen as far as the schooling goes. It was just, you know, we heard about it, it was coming. And then on Friday, that's when they said, well, you know, school's going to, we'll come back to school on Monday to get all your homework packets or anything you need. And then you'll be off until, at the time, I think the governor said it was something like, you know, like the end of April or beginning of May, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then when it came around over the weekend, that's when they're like, well, okay, we actually can't go back to school on Monday. So now you're just home from school for the rest of, you know, for the next couple of months and now through the entire school year. Right. At least I'm in Washington State, so that's what's going on there. But yeah, we weren't a school that had Chromebooks. We weren't a school that had all of these resources set up online yet. Mm-hmm. So it was basically just like a 2-week, 3-week vacation for a while. And now we're getting homework packets in the mail. Now they finally have it funded, so you know you can kind of rent or check out a laptop if needed. So it's a very weird time we're living in right now, for sure.
Yeah, Carl, when are you going to get your At Games Legends Ultimate? I keep preaching to the choir every week about this thing.
Well, I actually reached out to them this week, and they denied. They said, no, we don't have one to allocate at this point in time, yada, yada, yada. Buying it is just, my favorite arcade games are vertical. And so that's my biggest thing with At Games, because it's a horizontal screen. And I know in your video, John, you were saying, "Oh, it's got Centipede." I can't bring myself to play Centipede on a horizontal screen. It just drives me nuts. So that's my biggest gripe. I would just not play vertical games on it if I got it. But that's the biggest thing that drives me away from it. But I think I will eventually get it. I just don't know when.
Yeah. But you did make a recent purchase, didn't you, Carl?
Yeah, and I did a pre-order for the NBA Jams.
Right.
Nice. Did the pre-order with Best Buy, mm-hmm. and it's a pricey endeavor, no doubt. I think it's the same price as the At Games, right?
Yeah, I mean, give or take. I mean, it's the pre-order. $500, yeah, $500, right? Yeah, combo with the stool, and that's the same price as the Legends Ultimate at Walmart right now. Walmart.com or Sam's Club, is it? So pretty pricey. However, this is just my personal opinion, guys. So don't kill me. If it wasn't for the net play feature and for the ability where I can play people who watch the channel, my friends, my family, I guarantee you every YouTuber that gets their hands on an NBA Jam cabinet, they're all going to be doing play with me tournaments and brackets. It's a wonderful way for like the content creators to get more involved with their fans, as well as we could play against each other, collaborate with other YouTubers, and also play with our own friends and family personally. If it wasn't for that feature, I would not be buying that cabinet, because I have 100 other ways to play NBA Jam in my house. So that's just my personal opinion. Don't kill me for it. But I totally get how, just from a nostalgia perspective, that's going to be their best-selling cabinet this year once it's officially released. You know what I mean? Everyone's going to buy an NBA Jam cabinet. So what do you think about that, Carl?
Well, I'm personally buying it for my sons and grandsons. So the 4 of them will have a ball with it. So I'm going to get it. I'm going to set it up. I'm going to do my videos on it. Then I'm going to take it over to Canada and give it to them. So it's not something I'm going to have in the house all the time, but I'm definitely going to test it out specifically before I ship it over there or take it over there.
Yeah.
John, what's your thought on NBA Jam?
John, you there?
What's mine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arcade
So,
1UP.
yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
That Arcade 1UP NBA Jam cabinet. What do you think about having that in your house?
I don't have much room for it anymore. Is my thing. I'm not the biggest fan of the game. I like the game, and I like where I can't deny how popular it was for sure. But I've never been a sports guy, and I know this game is right on that line of like you don't need to be a sports fan. You don't need to be a basketball fan to enjoy NBA Jam because anybody can play it really, especially once you figure it out. Just fun game, arcade action style, and I think it's fantastic. But it's an investment for what's basically just that game or variations of that one game.
Yeah.
I mean, I think to get that game, you'd have to either you're collecting all of them, or you just have to be a fan of that game. And it's a great game for, if you have friends over, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, Carl, you, speaking of folks like me who emulate NBA Jam on different arcade machines, you recently posted a video, what was it, last night or today, showing people, we're going to call it your Detroit Love Tech Tip of the Week. And you posted a video teaching folks how to back up their images for their, let's say, their Raspberry Pis, correct?
Yeah. Now, I get questions. I'm just exactly what John described earlier, because I show people how to do things. I get contacted all the time about how to do this, how to do that, and free tech support. And being a good guy, I typically do a lot of things for free that I shouldn't.
Right.
But one of my customers called me up this last week and was saying, "Hey, my grandkids were over, and my wife turned on the arcade machine, and it's all damaged now." He said none of the games would start, so they were just smashing the buttons, right? Just smashing the buttons like kids would do. And so I tried to walk him through it, and he was just not able to get it done. So he'll have to. I'll just charge him $30. He's local, and I'll repair that for him or just redo it for him. But a lot of people don't realize, once you get these modded cabinets in there, it's quite a bit of customization that you'll do without even realizing it. Some of the games may not work, and you'll get them working, right? You'll change the emulators for that particular game. You may change themes. You may turn kid mode on and put things in the kid mode thing. So there's times when you want to back that thing up, because if you lost it, in his case, you lose all of that customization that you did. So just a quick video. And for me, 10 minutes is very quick. I
love the way you said that. Do you know how many 30-minute plus videos are on Detroit Love's channel? And you're like, 10 minutes is quick for me. That was awesome.
That's a small video. But people need to periodically back up their images, because they put them in the cabinet and they forget about it. And it's a computer, so the image can go bad anytime, right? You can get a brownout, power surge, any type of thing can happen. So it's just a quick video to let people know how to do that. And it's real simple. Most people, they don't realize when they create their disk, they download the image and they burn it to the card, is basically the opposite of doing that same exact thing. Instead of writing it, they read it. And they read it into a new file, and now they have a backup.
That's fantastic. So guys, make sure you check out Detroit Love's channel. Make sure you check out that video. They always tell you in the world of computing technology, back up your backups, right? So make sure you watch that, and that way you can learn some great tips on how to get your images backed up, keep them safe, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because this guy, he basically has a paperweight in an arcade cabinet. Nothing he can do until he gets a new image.
I love it. Rexer says always back up your images, and we got Steven, you gotta back it up to get it back. So yes, definitely. If anyone knows anything about backing up images and stuff, it's Steven over at the Tech Buzz. Keep it buzzing, brother. Keep it buzzing. So we're gonna do something special here, but we're gonna do it in just a few more minutes. But before we do, John Riggs doing open cart surgery live for all of us. I wanted to talk to you real quick, John, about the TurboGrafx 16 mini console. You picked one up. You picked one up. A lot of YouTubers have. They're putting their videos up. Everyone's getting here's what I find impressive. When I look at all these channels, big or small, the TurboGrafx 16 mini, everyone who posts a video, they're getting anywhere from 10 to 50,000 views. This thing sounds like it's a must buy. I mean, what are your thoughts on it?
Well, I mean, I was that kid in high school who had one, or elementary, or no, middle school. Good Lord, that was that long ago. I loved it. During the console wars, I had both, and I had the TurboGrafx 16. It was a unique system, and I was, so growing up, I was a fan. There are people who are buying it now who have never played one before in their entire life, but now it's like, well, it's the next mini console. Let's may as well grab it and see what all's on here. And then they're hopefully pleasantly surprised that there's a lot of really, really good games on there. Never mind the generation it came out. Tons of shooters. If shooters are your thing, it's the system to have for sure. And the fact that they also have the CD-based games, because there was a CD attachment. Later on, they came out with the Turbo Duo. Then the fact that you can play some of these CD games on here as well just makes it all the more worthwhile. Right now, it's still kind of that, every time anybody posts a video on it, you can look up any video on YouTube, and the first several comments are going to be like, "What? I thought it was delayed. I thought it was delayed. Where'd you get it? How did you get it?" But Amazon Japan is selling it, and Amazon Japan is selling the US version. Amazon US, I mean, they put the blanket end of the year date. Once the pandemic lifts, then it'll probably change to whatever the closer date is for the US shipping. But I mean, yes, I have Amazon Prime, so I had to pay for my own.
Oh, you there, John?
Things about it, I love it.
That's great. That's great. And yeah, hey, Steven, you got to do what everyone else is doing. I already canceled my American order, and I ordered from Amazon Japan, and my TurboGrafx 16 Mini arrives on Monday. So I'm super excited. I'm super
it takes less than a week.
Yeah. Yeah. I was really happy to cancel that Amazon pre-order that's just been sitting there in my Amazon pre-order list.
Yeah. So I did the same. It was wonderful.
Now, give people a teaser from your review video. What were your favorite games that you played on this TurboGrafx 16? Which ones had like really good emulation, sound? Because wasn't there a game on here that is, I think it's this vertical one right here that people have been complaining about, right?
Oh, Blazing Lasers.
Yeah, I've heard some.
It could have been. I'm not as sensitive. I'm not nearly as sensitive to controller lag or sound lag as most of the population, especially those who are into emulation, who are into, they want to get the best quality, the best sound, the best picture quality out of their TV or monitor, whatever they're using. I'm not like that as much. But there are a couple of games on here, and Blazing Lasers may have been one of them, where the sound delay was a little bit more of a delay than I was used to. And I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it is certainly something that you have to consider when looking into something like this. It was the same way with the Genesis Mini, and both are done by M2, and from what I understand, both are basically the same circuit board anyway. So it's one of those things that, I mean, but if you're getting into any emulation of any kind, you have to almost expect that.
Yeah.
Most of the games I really liked were just the games I grew up with, or the games I played back in the day, and now I'm playing them. I've played them along the way too, and I still have a PC Engine Duo, which is the Japanese equivalent.
Yeah.
But just some of the games like cool to see Newtopia 2 on here, which is a high price game. I mean, Dracula X, which is which many consider as the best Castlevania game of all time to a lot of people. I mean, that's just one of the games default on the system too. And it's cool to see all the imports. I was a huge import fan. There was a time in the 90s when I got the internet where I was like, oh, I can play all these games from Japan before they come out in America. I'm sold. So, I mean, there was a time where I bought nothing but imports for about 2 or 3 years straight. And cool to see so many Japanese games on here. Now they're in Japanese language, but many of them you don't need to know Japanese to play them. There's going to be a couple of games on there that's like, well, this game's worthless to me because I don't read Japanese and there's no translation patch for it. But cool that they're on there all the same. And I mean, and like any other mini console or classic system, it'll be cracked eventually, and then you can be able to add your own games on there. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I'm sure those Mod My Classic guys and Rockin' the Classic guys, I'm sure everyone's already working on their hacks for the TurboGrafx 16 Mini, and I'm sure those will be out. Those will be out very, very soon. Excuse me, Carl.
I hope so.
Carl, did you ever play Did you have a TurboGrafx 16, Carl, or did you ever play one?
I did not. I think I had kids and was raising a family when that came out, so I don't know anything about it. Now, what's the equivalent of 11,500 yen?
It's like $116, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So, well, yeah, when I placed my order, $116. And guys, all you have to do is you go to the Amazon Japan, even if you already have an Amazon account, and you find it and you click on it to place an order, and it'll have you sign in and create an Amazon account. You can just use the same email address, password you want with your other Amazon account if you want. It literally takes 3 seconds to create an Amazon Japan account, place your order, and they're coming quickly. So I can't wait to get mine. So awesome. Speaking of which, now before we do open cart surgery, John, I gotta talk to you about one more thing that I totally geeked out about that I saw on your channel. You recently got a 3DO.
What's that?
A 3DO. And
oh yeah. That's right.
I must be the only guy out there that absolutely loved the 3DO as a kid. Like Need for Speed, Wing Commander 3, Heart of the Tiger with Mark Hamill and John Rhys Davies, and playing those games on there. I absolutely loved it. Tell us a little bit about your 3DO, how you got one, and what you think about the 3DO and all that.
You know, I'm a huge fan of attending video game conventions anymore. Like all of the games I get, I don't consider myself a collector. Some people do. I don't consider myself a collector, but I happen to have a collection of games because I keep buying games that I'll actually play. And I was at the last convention I attended before all of this, shut down around us. In Portland, Oregon. I mean, Portland, Oregon hosts the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, which may be the biggest convention in the U.S. It's one of the biggest ones for sure. But they do a supplementary, they just call it like a swap meet, which is just cheap tables, bring your stuff, trade some games, sell some games if you want. I mean, it's a cooler deal, super chill, one day thing. And just somebody came in from the area, and he had a backpack full of goodies to trade. And he was like, "Man, I'm really looking for I'm looking for a Nintendo 64 with an extra controller and some game, and a game for it." So I said, "Well, I have one of those," because I had a table that I was selling some of my extras and stuff like that. And he's like, "Oh, well, here's what I have for trade." And one of the things that he had for trade was a 3DO with some games. So we just did a straight trade for the 64 for his 3DO. And I was like, "Well, now I have a 3DO." I remember when the 3DO came out, and it was too rich for my blood. But then near the end of its life cycle, that's when the PlayStation 1 came out, or the PlayStation at the time, of course, 95. I remember going to, at the time, Software, etc. And I was like, I had enough money for a PlayStation. I was like, I don't know a lot about this system, but I have the money for it. I'm going to buy it. And I was like, actually had that kind of, should I get a PlayStation? And that I know nothing about at the time. Although they teased Tekken, and I love the game Tekken. Or this 3DO, which has already been out, and you can get it. They're doing like a package deal with like a 3DO plus like 10 games or something like that for the same price. And I was like, I'm going to invest in the PlayStation, and at the end of the day, I'm glad I did. But it's interesting to go back and see all of these other games for the time for the 3DO. And I just have a couple of them right now. I know that there's no copyright protection or country coding or anything like that, so you can just burn your own games. But I haven't even got that far with it yet. It's just another system to have for when it comes around that I need to play something on it or capture video footage or something on it. I don't know. We'll go from there. But I have one.
Yeah, that's awesome, and I'm totally jealous. I wish I had a 3DO in my house right now, one of the original consoles. I would play the hell out of that thing. And guys, I don't know how many people in the chat will remember playing the first Need for Speed game on 3DO, and it had all the video captures and all the funny segments. But that game had some of the best car crashes I've ever seen in a video game. And in fact, me and my buddy Tom, who I grew up with, we would play that game for hours, and we would just build up speed, and like you fly off a hill and your car does like all kinds of flips and stuff like that. And it was like a demolition derby, but it was hilarious. I mean, it was the coolest thing we'd ever seen, the car crashes in that game. So it was so much fun. And of course, Wing Commander, Heart of the Tiger, probably one of my favorite games of all time. It's like living a movie playing that game on that system. All right, guys. So we are going to do something really, really cool. So now this hasn't been rehearsed. This hasn't been planned. I dumped this on John about 10 minutes ago, or 10 minutes before we went live. I said, John, do me a favor. He's like, what? I said, we're going to do open cart surgery live on the show. He's like, okay. So if you guys don't know John Riggs, his channel, he does a great series of videos called Open Cart Surgeries. And and where he tries to repair or clean original cartridge console games. So would love for you to kind of do one for us right now.
Yeah. All right. No, perfect. All right. So, and at the end of the, I mean, it's funny because I called it open cart surgery of all things because it just had a catchy name to it. It's stuff that I've been doing since the 90s. I used to work with, I couldn't work for because I wasn't old enough, but we had a local video store rental, a video store in town that rented out old Nintendo games. And, oh God, I haven't heard that song in a long time. So in their back corner, they would always have all their Nintendo games that were labeled broken because they'd bring them back and, you know, it didn't work, or hey, there's a rattling in here, it's not working. But no one would ever fix them or do anything with them. So I mean, after a few months of just seeing this game get higher and higher and higher, I was like, I can try fixing them for you, and I do it for free. So for a while there, we kind of worked out a deal where I would grab all their games that weren't working. 99% of the time, they just needed to be cleaned, you know. But I'll get them working, I'll bring them back, and in trade for free video game rentals. So it worked out pretty well for me. So it's what I've been doing since the 90s. Again, I don't have a technical background or engineering degree. It's mostly just cleaning them. Every once in a while, I do have a soldering iron, a desoldering iron. I've done board swaps where I take the ROM from one game, put it in a lesser known working game like a sports title or something like that. But here we have Battletoads, and I have my monitor here. It's hooked up through an RF. That's how old school I am. I guess I can just probably swivel this over.
Yeah. This is exciting, guys. We are going to watch this live.
You're hyping it up too much, I think.
Well, by the way, guys, we should make a regular thing on our show, Carl. Let me know what you think, because we had Richie Knuckles, the Space Invaders world champ, play Space Invaders live for viewers of our show. We're going to put our guests on. We're going to put the pressure on them. What do you think, Carl?
Yeah. Hey, they've done well so far. So
sounds like just whatever they're known for, you know, just have them showcase something anyway, you know. Yeah. So, but I like I said, I still have. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but we'll see. And this time I'm actually using my top loader, because sometimes I'll often. Do I have it? Oh, I do. I have it back here.
Yep.
Oftentimes I use this, which is a Super Retro Trio 3 Plus. It's from Retrobit, which does Genesis, Super Nintendo, and NES. It's an emulation. It's a clone system. And it works really well. But for something like this, I figured I'd pull out the top loader just so we have instant results. So actually, watch this game work, and I don't have to do anything. That'd be even better for me. But it's probably not. And I got the blank screen there. This monitor shows up as like a purplish, whitish, blue screen. So
okay.
The first thing I do is I just clean it. You can use Q-tips and rubbing alcohol. This company called 1UP Card makes 1UP cards. This one happens to have my face on it. I custom ordered a bunch of these to use as business cards when I went to E3. So I went, oh, here's my business card. It also cleans your old video games, and it has all my contact information on the back. The 1UP Card company people, I bought these, and they were like, actually, can we use that idea for yourself? So you can go there and make your own these, which clean games. But I think they're neat because the cotton side fits right in there, so you don't even have to open it up if you don't need to.
Nice.
So that's my plug. I just like with you and At Games, the Legends Ultimate, I keep on plugging these guys. They don't give me any money. In fact, I bought these. I'm giving them money. So I got that all backwards. But there's a fluid side and a dry side, and we'll give it a shot. And I'm hoping this is all it takes. But it's just.
This is great.
Like I said. And I have my screwdriver handy too. I got it just in case I need to open it up. But all right, I popped it back in there. Please work.
No pressure.
All right, well, I'm gonna try one more thing.
All right.
I'm gonna crack it open just in case.
All right.
Pretty soon. All right, I have it's a 3.8 millimeter. I think they're literally just called security bits, but if you just look up Game Bit or Nintendo screwdriver or something like that, I think I just got these on eBay, and they're super cheap, and you can usually get them as a twin pack with that one and the 4.5, which is for Sega Genesis games. But this one here, the 3.8, works for Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, Game Boy. It's kind of their universal bit. If the game's not like with like a jeweler's screwdriver, you know.
Yeah.
If you've never opened up a Nintendo game before, here's how much plastic, here's how much game.
Isn't that hilarious?
There are a few games that fill up the whole thing. Castlevania 3 is one of them. Some of those Koei strategy games fill up the entire circuit board, but oftentimes it's just that it's all mechanics. And this game actually looks super clean, so I'm concerned. It might be a faulty ROM or something like that. So I'm going to use. I don't use Brasso. A lot of people use Brasso. I've never had a game not work because of Brasso, but Brasso is it's kind of like it removes. You're basically destroying the pins from the game by removing a layer of them, and you can only do it so many times before there's no more layers left. So.
Hey, John, we got a comment in the chat from fellow YouTuber Mad Dad's Gaming. He says, "Did you try blowing on it?" Maybe
I should have.
We should have started there, bro.
Right. That's how I've always done it.
It works every time. Well, I mean, and as it goes, by blowing on it, when you blow, you're releasing saliva particles. The saliva particles get stuck to the circuit board, and then it attracts even more dirt. So blowing on it makes it worse in the long run. But yeah, we all blew on them. I still do out of habit, and that's a habit I'll never break. But this is let me show you what I'm using. So in lieu of Brasso, I use this product called Bright Boy, which is similar to Brasso, and I still use it sparingly. But it's also it cleans the boards. And this was recommended to me by another YouTube channel called Rock Solid Productions, who actually gifted me this bottle, saying, "Dude, stop with the Brasso and use this instead." And there is this weird gunk on the other side of this, which I think is why it's not working. And it may be this. Actually, it'll be hard to see it from there. But there's a weird something on the pins itself, and I have no idea what's causing all that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm pretty sure this is not going to work.
John, no pressure.
No, of course not.
But the world is watching. He did not want to do this, ladies and gentlemen. He told me it's not going to work. It's not going to work.
I don't think it's going to work. I don't think it's going to work, but we'll try it anyway.
I have faith.
If I was smart, if I had more time, I would have swapped it out and just sleight of hand. It's like, oh, hey, let's pop it in, and then it works. Yay, look how awesome I am. But that wouldn't. I'm not gonna lie to you. All right, swivel it back over here. You can just pop it right in here.
All right.
Like I said, I don't think there is a weird substance on the back of the pins that I think is making it so it's not working. But I don't think it's gonna work. Not in this capacity anyway.
Oh no. Oh no.
No, I know. Well, and I don't know what they did to it. It was almost like they added solder to each individual pin and stretched it out or something. But
okay,
and the next step, I was gonna say the next step would be to take out a soldering iron and reflow the solder and all that. But again, because it was sprung up on me, I don't even have my soldering iron handy. All
right.
I'll call it a failure for now. I might come back to it later.
Yeah. We were hoping it would be a quick fix. Because can you imagine, Carl? What do you think? How many Nintendo cartridges ended up in a landfill that just needed to be cleaned?
Right. Oh, sure. Hold on. Yeah. I think I have another game. Hold on.
Oh,
I'm anxious to get a game working.
What were you saying, Carl?
I have a box full of junk, and I probably have some Nintendo games there. I've never resold those things. I always just throw them in a box and stuck them somewhere. So one day I'll have to go and look through all those boxes.
Oh, by the way, look, hey, John, Carl, Steven at the Tech Buzz, he canceled his US pre-order for TurboGrafx, and he just ordered the Japanese one, and even sent us the confirmation in Japanese in the chat.
I see that.
Way to go, Steven. Thanks for joining.
Job,
thanks for joining the cool kids.
So, Peter, while John's doing that, so in Japanese it said that it didn't have an operating system. So that's something you have to add to it.
No, I don't think so. I mean, everyone plugs it in, fires it up.
Yeah, it works right out of the box. And even though it's coming from Japan, you don't have to do any weird power conversion or anything like that too. I just used literally what it came with, and it worked just fine. There is an option to switch it back and forth. So you'll see all the TurboGrafx 16 games, and you push a button, and it goes all the Japanese games and everything. And both games I thought weren't working with the first try. So
I love this comment in the chat. Eminem just wrote, "Detroit Love could just make a new game cartridge and a new NES console out of old lumber in his garage.
That's not bad.
You could, Carl. You're like the MacGyver. Like, no one knows how. Guys, I don't think you guys realize how smart Detroit Love is. This guy knows his stuff. So, it's amazing. So
I just gotta get organized so I can present it. That's the problem. So I'm getting there. I got my green screen. I got finally some light, so we're not holding up a flashlight to see things.
All right. So what cartridge are we working on now, John?
Well, I grabbed two more. I have a box of games that aren't working, and I grabbed two more that I didn't think were working. I just tried them both, and they both worked just fine. So it's like that defeats that purpose.
You're teasing us. You're teasing us.
I know. I was putting the Battletoads back together.
It's okay. I wanted Richie Knuckles to break the world record of Space Invaders live on my show.
Oh God.
It's
How long
only
would that take?
It's only an hour-long show, so it wasn't going to happen. But it would have been cool if it would happen. PDubs broadcasts it,
Sure. Absolutely. Have your little thumbnail on there? Sure.
All right. Did you find a broken one?
Let me double check.
Hey, share your link to which cartridge you bought, or which TurboGrafx you bought.
Oh, for the Amazon?
Yeah, somebody share, because my Japanese is a little rusty.
All right, hang on.
I see one for 11,000, another one for 16,000. I want to pay more for one that.
All right, so guys, you just go. You know what? We'll hang on. Let me change this. Let me show you guys what to do while John is getting set up. So
all right, damn it.
All right, so while you're getting set up, John, I'm just going to show the audience something per request.
Sure.
All right. So all you have to do, guys, is hop on over to Amazon Japan. And when you're in Amazon Japan, obviously you know it because everything's in Japanese. And just type in English, TurboGrafx 16 Mini. It pops right up. And you can just click on it right here. And you can just place your order once the screen refreshes. Hang on a second. But yeah, this is the link right here. So 11,550. That's like 116 bucks.
All right, add to cart. I'm assuming that means buy now.
Yeah, there is I think somewhere on that page is a button where you can convert it to
English. Yeah, I saw it the first time, but now it's not showing me for some reason.
Yeah, it's in there. It's in there somewhere.
It's right next to the search bar.
Let me go back.
Oh yeah, Michael B, the Game Genie in the house. Love Michael.
Yeah, he popped in earlier.
Michael posted. By the way, guys, I think it was it yesterday, Mike? You could put it in the chat. You posted your TurboGrafx 16 Mini review, and it was really well shot. Like, I've watched like 9 of these reviews. I can't get enough of them, and Michael did a fantastic job. Make sure you check out his review on his channel. Ooh, it's gonna happen.
I don't think so.
All right,
with this one anyway.
All right, so where are we at? What first off, what game is it? What are you working on?
This one is it looks like Battletoads that was like underwater or something. The label's even falling off there. Oh my god.
Oh man. Underwater Battletoads, and you're gonna get it running.
And the pins are super corroded on that too.
Oh, look at that.
So good.
Who knew, guys,
so, yeah,
who knew that the Heart of the Ocean was a Battletoads NES cartridge? That's what Rose threw off the end of it.
It really was, yeah.
Yeah. And while John's cleaning it up, guys, take a look at Detroit Love ordering his TurboGrafx 16 Mini.
I'm trying to decipher how to register a new count in Japanese.
You know what we're doing, guys? We're multitasking. I'm trying to run a podcast. John's fixing NES cartridges. You're ordering TurboGrafx 16 Minis. It's madness.
Yeah, because once people get this, they're going to all be gone because everybody's running over there now.
Yep.
Could do it. Could be it. That was a failure too. I didn't know about showing you.
Come on.
At least as far as far as cleaning it goes. Now, if I, using the soldering iron and all that, and I'd probably have better luck, but that's another process. That's where the editing comes in, so I can, heat it up and do all that. And But as far as just trying to clean them, that sucked.
He's like, yeah, that sucked. Guys, don't blame John. It's all my fault. I put the pressure on him 10 minutes before we went live. John, it'd be great if you did open cart surgery. You got 10 minutes. Let's do it.
Well, that's the way live shows go. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong.
So, always. That's it.
That's fantastic. So, Detroit Love, you want to talk about our arcade game of the week, Golden Axe, while John recovers from open cart surgery?
Yeah, so the Golden Axe is my wife's favorite arcade game. I never knew that until I had it on my modified Street Fighter cabinet. So she came down. She wasn't interested in any of the arcade games, and it has the demo. So it has the demo mode that'll go off and just show you random games. And Golden Axe came on the demo, and her eyes lit up like, Golden Axe. I'm like, what? Because I've never played Golden Axe, so I didn't know what it was. And so I had to put it in my favorite. She comes down here and plays it. She'll come, I have a quarter slot on my arcade machine. So, and she loves that part of it. She loves to have to figure out when the right time to get your quarters in there, and she'll play it all the way to the end.
Right.
And she said she definitely likes it better when she has somebody to help her, obviously, because you have somebody to help to kill the guys, But she loves that game. That's the only game she'll come down here and play of all the 2,200 games that are on that cabinet. So I got a chance to play it a little bit and put the video up today. And my best friend used to love Double Dragon and those beat 'em. I've just never really been a fan of those beat 'em up. It's going to wear me out. And that's when you had to put quarters in it. So I was too cheap to be playing those games because they were quarter eaters, right?
Oh, yeah.
You keep feeding quarters, and they were designed nothing like RoboCop though. RoboCop was horrible. This game is definitely, you can at least get far. You can at least play it for an extended amount of time on the credit. But I like the game. I like that you can jump on that little, I don't know if it's a scorpion or whatever that thing is, and ride it and whip your tail out. That's one of the things I liked about each of these beat 'em up games. Have certain things that are really unique or nice, and that was the thing I really liked about Golden Axe, is you can ride those things if you can get to it. I know I played it earlier. I kept getting my head beat in. I couldn't get on to it fast enough because the guys had me surrounded, and that's why my wife likes for multiple players to be on, because you need that help with these type of games for sure.
Yeah. Now, does your wife like The Revenge of the Death Adder, the sequel, or?
I don't think she's played that. And she mentioned that for some reason the Arcade1UP, she called it Arcade1UP version of the game, was shorter than what she recalled. So she may have played one of the other ones. Are you guys familiar with it? Is that one longer than this particular one, or is the emulation shorter than the actual arcade game? I don't know.
Well, I mean, I've never actually played Death Adder all the way through. Like, usually, I play the first couple levels and then end up getting bored and quitting. But it's a great game. John, what do you think of Death Adder as well as the original Golden Axe?
I never played Death Adder, to be honest with you. I've never played all the way through what I know from Golden Axe mostly are for the Sega Genesis. But like you said in the arcade, and before this happened, I was like, oh, wait, when you mentioned Golden Axe, I was like, hold on, I got something to show you. Here's a photo of me in like 91 or 90. It's like 89 or 90 or something like that.
Oh, look at you.
Golden Axe.
Really focus on it, but yeah, me playing Golden Axe, wearing my Bam Bam Bigelow t-shirt, by the way. That's how old it was.
Nice.
Bam Bam was in WWF at the time, in the late 80s. No, I was a huge fan of this game. Sega made great arcade games for the time, and like you said, it wasn't so much of a quarter muncher. You could at least, I could at least get to like the second level on one quarter. So that worked out fine for me. But it was fun because you could do 3-player. You could choose if you wanted to be like the warrior or the dwarf or whatever it was, and it was just cool for its time. I mean, like the characters were like bigger sprite models than some of the other games at the time. A lot of fun memories playing at Golden Axe. But I never played if there was a sequel in the arcade, I never played it, and I played a bit of Golden Axe 2 for the Sega Genesis. And then the third one, I played a little bit of that, but never played all the way through it either.
Yeah. My buddy Jerry in the chat here, he this is exactly what I was voicing. He loses interest in Death Adder after the first few levels. Same here. Like, excuse me, I got a cold coming on. Like, I cannot finish that game. Like, after like 2 or 3 levels, I just like get bored. But the original Golden Axe, play that all the way through.
Sure.
What's your favorite character to play as, Carl?
Well, I don't have one, but my wife's favorite character is the dwarf.
Okay.
She likes the dwarf, and she says she really likes the magic, being able to use the magic, and you got that little, whatever those little tiny guys are, they come and still sleep. And so she likes the aspect of the magic and the potions.
Mm-hmm. Collecting the potions. The more potions you have, the stronger the spell.
Right.
It's really, that part is really cool.
Yeah, that was
trying to build all the way up to get the giant one,
Yeah.
And Mark Twig Jones, Get Off My Lawn Gaming on YouTube. He says Genesis port was better than arcade. Fight me.
He's always ready to fight about it.
Yeah, he is. John, when you play Golden Axe, who's your favorite? I'll admit, I'm a warrior. I always play as the warrior guy. So
yeah, no, I have always played as him first. I mean, I've played through it with all 3 of the characters. There's like 3 of them to choose from, and they all kind of basically play the same kind of. I mean, the dwarf's kind of cool because when you hit both buttons, you do that weird roll attack, and you roll back. Yeah, but no, I'm with you. I always wanted to see just how much of the magic you could conserve to get it all maxed out, and then launch it on some boss and have it be, like the dragon come down and breathe fire on everyone or whatever it was. It was always just kind of cool to see, what they would do, the creativity involved at the time too.
Yeah, really, really awesome. Now, Carl, did you play Golden Axe all the way through this week, or?
No, I didn't get a chance to play all the way through. That's my wife. Like I said, that's my wife's thing. I asked her. I said, I need you to play, and I need to I need to interview you to ask some questions. So that was my contribution. And I put together my video, which I died after 3 credits, but I only had 3 credits in there. But it said game over. I don't know if I didn't put the credits in fast enough, but it definitely said game over versus continue. So.
Oh, okay.
That happens. If you ever get a chance, whether you play it or not, you can probably even look it up on YouTube. I'm sure it's on YouTube. But if you ever find Golden Axe for the PC Engine CD, which is the Japanese TurboGrafx 16 CD, they made a port of Golden Axe. It doesn't play very well, but it has cutscenes in it. So like it shows the whole storyline that leads up to the beginning of the game, where all the village folk are like running away from town, and you're walking to town. So it kind of shows a little animated sequence of what's going down there. I thought that was kind of neat.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, Golden Axe was a lot of fun. We all love Golden Axe, and Arcade1UP they're having a Golden Axe cabinet come out this year now. Is it going to have Golden Axe 1 and the Death Adder on there, or does it just have Death Adder and a few other games? I can't remember. It's
3 games for sure. It's going to be the 1, 2, and whatever the other one you just said.
Yeah, if anyone knows in the chat what the game lineup is again, I can't remember. It's been eons since CES. Please remind me what's going to be on that cabinet. But it's a Sega cabinet. That's pretty cool. If they're working with Sega now. Hold on, Michael B. the Game Genie says it's going to have 5 games.
Yeah, it has wrestle. I'm a huge wrestling fan. It has Wrestle War as one of them.
Okay.
It has Altered Beast and Shinobi. I think
Wrestle.
You got to admit that's a good lineup.
It's a great lineup. It wasn't as popular. One of my favorite arcade games for the time from Sega was a game called Quartet, which is it's a 4-player platformer. I love Quartet. And it would have been perfect for this because this Golden Axe 1UP or Arcade1UP is going to have 4 controllers. It's going to have 4 spots to play, and they're leaving Quartet out of it. The game that literally has the word that literally means 4. It's off the list. It's like, oh man, what a wasted opportunity. But yeah, I want to say it had Golden Axe and maybe the second one as well. Like, or
they did confirm that it has both versions of Golden Axe.
Yeah.
The original and that.
I mean, I'd like to get it just for Wrestle War, but I mean, the fact that it also has, Altered Beast, great game, love that one. Shinobi's a classic. So yeah. I like when they're doing stuff like this.
Yeah, and with them now partnering with Sega, we might see some cool other Sega cabinets down the road.
Sure.
So that's pretty awesome. Now, guys, it's time for you to help us pick what our Arcade Classic Game of the Week is going to be for next week. That way we'll discuss it next week on the show. So as always, we let the fans decide. Last week it was Golden Axe, or at least you guys throw the ideas out there and we pick one. So start throwing them in the chat, guys. Let us know what classic game you would like to be the game of the week for next week. Very excited. Now, I knew this was going to happen.
What's that?
Michael B. the Game Genie wants us to play G.I. Joe. He was on our show last week, really hyping up G.I. Joe.
It's a great arcade game. Have you played it?
Yeah, and he's
played after our show.
He's spamming the chat right now. He keeps typing G.I. Joe over and over. I knew this was going to happen.
There was a couple of games at the time that played like G.I. Joe. There was like Devastators and something else. I mean, there may have been a Rambo game that had that style. It was just a cool looking kind of rail shooter for the time. But I don't know. Maybe you got to play G.I. Joe, and along with whoever your guest is going to be next week.
I'd definitely like to see a wrestling game. I mean, wrestling games were very popular.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember any of the names. I can remember a couple of moves where you get to keep kneeing it down.
Yeah. Well, WrestleFest was great from the WWF WrestleFest because it was made by Technos, the same guys who do Super Dodgeball and Double Dragon even, which we had those ports over to home consoles when I was growing up.
Now, my buddy Eminem wrote in here, Ninja Clowns. Me and him have a special bond over Ninja Clowns. I like that one.
I'm not familiar with that one. I'll have to check it out.
Oh, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
All right.
It's just a beat 'em up, but you're clowns and like you pick up items like like a blowhorn and you kill guys with it, and like a water spritzer bottle. It's hilarious. I think
I love it.
Now we haven't had Mark Twiggy on, and Twiggy loves Metal Slug, and we could have Mark come back on the show. We haven't seen Mark in a while.
Mentioning Zaxxon. I used to play that in arcades, but on the emulation, I just cannot maneuver that thing.
Yeah, I'd say it's rough.
Yeah, it's a tough thing to do.
Bring it to the wall.
Yeah. So I'm seeing. Okay, guys, these are the votes we're seeing so far. We are seeing the votes for Pong, G.I. Joe, WrestleFest, and Metal Slug.
Pong, Slam Masters.
Is that
Slam Masters? That was a Capcom. It was a wrestling game set up like a fighting game, but it was still a wrestling game.
That would be kind of cool. That would be kind of different.
Yeah.
Rygar. Who doesn't like
the game? Classic. Yeah, my best buddy since 4th grade, he has a Rygar in his garage.
Oh, nice.
He wants me to redo it for him, but I said I don't mess with rat poop and mouse pee.
All right, so what do you guys think? Metal Slug or WrestleFest?
What was the two choices?
Metal Slug or WrestleFest?
Let's do the wrestling. That came up a few times today.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
Never go wrong.
All right, so we will do WrestleFest, and maybe we'll spritz in Saturday Night Slam Masters. I definitely want to check that out per John's recommendation. All right, guys, Arcade Game of the Week is going to be WrestleFest. Make sure you keep your eyes out on my channel and Carl's channel. We'll probably be posting videos of us doing gameplay of that particular game. So that's really, really cool. Can't thank you guys enough. We're getting near the very end of our show here. It's been a fun hour. Had a lot of fun, John. Appreciate you doing your best with last minute heart surgery. Not his fault. Good. Not his fault, guys. I dumped it on him.
Next time he'll know just to blow in it.
Yeah, I should have just done that first. It would have worked first time.
If you had blown in it, it would have worked, bro. You screwed up.
How are we gonna do
now,
we live and we learn.
Now, John, obviously you have a tremendous following, but if there's folks who are watching the stream who are not familiar with you, where can they find you on Facebook, Twitter, all that kind of stuff, YouTube?
Well, on Twitter and Instagram, I am John Blue Riggs. It's my first and last name and the color my hair used to be back when I had hair. When I came up with that email address and that screen name, I just keep going with it, man. So John Blue Riggs on Twitter and Instagram. Basically, if you just search for John Riggs, since you're also following gaming stuff, I'll probably pop up there, but both on YouTube and on Twitch and on I have a Facebook thing too. So yeah, just search up John Riggs, you'll find me.
Yeah, just search John Riggs and you'll find him. And Carl, where
in the
is
comments of PDubs videos, you'll find me.
and Carl, where can people find you? As always, my friend,
you'll find me on YouTube. I'm in most of all of the Facebook groups dealing with gaming, and pinball. So look me up.
Yep. And you guys know where PDubs is, so make sure you follow PDubs. I heard he's a swell guy. So
yeah. I'm the past swollen.
Yep. I hope all you guys have a fantastic Sunday. John, Carl, hang out a minute, and we appreciate you guys tuning in, and enjoy your week, guys. It's let's hope the world gets back to normal just a little bit more this week.
Absolutely. And until next time, we'll see you on the web.